Changes in the air at Ibrox, and this time it's not just another transfer rumor or preseason reshuffle, it's something bigger. As the summer window edges closer to slamming shut, Rangers are moving behind the scenes with real intent. With the squad still settling under Russell Martin's leadership and a Champions League campaign already underway the next few days could prove decisive. One position in particular is under the spotlight, and it's not just about strengthening, it's about transformation. A key figure could be heading out the door while a young talent from one of Europe's most respected academies prepares to step in. This is more than just squad depth. It's a potential turning point. And the urgency isn't just because of the ticking clock on transfers, it's also because of the message coming directly from the manager himself. Russell Martin isn't here to sugarcoat things. His expectations are crystal clear this season. We'll demand everything from every player, and anyone not ready to give that will simply be left behind. That message rang out loud and clear following Rangers' convincing 3-0 win away to Victoria Pleasant in the Champions League third qualifying round. But even in victory, Martin made no secret of the standards he's setting. Eyebrows were raised before kickoff when two of the most recognizable names in the squad, James Tavernier and Nicholas Raskin, were left out of the starting 11. No injuries, no suspensions, just a tactical choice. Martin, however, was quick to push back on any dramatic interpretation of the move. In his words, players aren't dropped, they're rotated. Everyone in the squad will have a role to play, and decisions will be made with the sole focus of winning matches. He's not interested in ego, reputation, or sentiment. The team comes first, and in fairness, it's hard to argue with the result. Rangers dominated the Czech side from the first whistle. The energy, intensity, and technical quality on display showed a team that's beginning to absorb Martin's ideas. He praised the way the players responded after what he called a tough afternoon in the league just days earlier. The performance against Victoria was a statement, not just in terms of result, but in how the team executed the game plan. But even then, Martin wasn't entirely satisfied. He picked out the final 15 minutes as an area of concern, saying the team spent too much time with the ball in their own half and lacked the forward aggression he demands. That's the level of detail he's working with, even in a 3-0 win. There's no room for complacency. On the pitch, the standout performers were clear. J.D. Gassama was electric on the wing, grabbing his third and fourth goals of the Champions League qualifiers, while new signing Oliver Antman made an immediate impact on his debut. Antman didn't just fit in, he shone. He won a penalty delivered, a brilliant assist, and brought a new dynamic to the Rangers' attack. Martin was full of praise for the young winger, highlighting his competitiveness, willingness to work, and his ability to produce moments of real quality. It's that kind of profile, hungry, fearless, and technically sharp, that Martin wants to build his squad around. And speaking of building, Rangers aren't finished yet, far from it. In what could be a significant double deal, the club is preparing to reshape the left-back position in dramatic fashion. Ridvan Yilmaz, who arrived from Besiktas back in 2022 for around £5 million, is now edging closer to the exit. Turkish giants Besiktas are pushing hard to bring him back to Istanbul, and the 24-year-old has already agreed personal terms on a 4-year contract. Negotiations are ongoing, with Rangers holding firm on their £3 million valuation. But with other European clubs also circling, the pressure is mounting. Besiktas will need to act fast if they want to seal the deal. Yilmaz has shown flashes of potential during his time in Glasgow. His pace, his technical ability, and his attacking intent were never in doubt. But consistency has been an issue. Injuries, tactical reshuffles, and the emergence of competition have limited his opportunities, and he's never quite nailed down the left-back role as his own. Now a return to Turkey looks not just possible, but probable. Behind the scenes, Rangers are already planning for life after Yilmaz. Talks have begun with representatives of Kasum Ouattara, a highly rated young fullback currently at AS Monaco. At just 20 years old, Ouattara ticks every box the club is looking for: dynamic, athletic, technically sound, and hungry for more regular first-team football. He's struggled for minutes in League One, but scouts across Europe have taken note of his potential, and Rangers are moving quickly to position themselves at the front of the queue. This isn't just a replacement, it could be an upgrade. Ouattara Fits the profile of a modern fullback and would bring a fresh level of competition to the left side of defense, an area that still lacks depth despite the club's summer activity. And let's not forget, that activity has been intense. Russell. Martin's arrival has triggered a full-scale rebuild. No fewer than 9 new faces have joined the club so far, including Ant-Man Gassama Thalo, Asgard, Emmanuel Fernandez, Joe Rothwell, Lyle Cameron, and 3 loan additions, Mikey Moore, Nasser Giga, and Max Aarons. Oscar Cortez also made his move permanent. It's a new-look squad full of youth and potential, but with that comes the need for cohesion and clarity. One thing is clear, the left-back position is still a work in progress. Max Aarons is more comfortable on the right, and although he brings experience and versatility, Martin wants a natural left-sided option who can provide width, pace, and reliability. That's where Ouattara could come in, especially if Yilmaz's departure is confirmed in the coming days. The timing of all this couldn't be more critical. Rangers are on the cusp of securing a place in the Champions League playoff round, but nothing is guaranteed. The second leg against Victoria Pleasant looms large, and the club knows what's at stake, financially, competitively, and symbolically. Returning to Europe's elite is a goal that goes beyond the pitch. It shapes recruitment, builds confidence, and restores pride. Off the field, the pressure is just as intense. Martin and the board must now act decisively. Every signing, every sale, and every tactical call feeds into the broader mission, building a squad capable of challenging for every trophy on offer. And that mission got off to a shaky start in the domestic league. Rangers' opening match in the Scottish Premiership ended in frustration with a 1-1 draw away to Motherwell. It's now 3 seasons in a row without an opening day win, and Martin didn't hold back in his post-match reaction. He called the performance lucky and accused his team of being outfought. That kind of language sends a clear message. Standards must rise or changes will be made. And for some players, the writing may already be on the wall. Nicholas Raskin in particular is under the microscope. He started that match against Motherwell but struggled to assert himself. Just one chance created 3 shots without a single. 1 on target and poor numbers in both tackles and aerial duels. It's the kind of performance that doesn't go unnoticed, especially not under a manager like Martin, who values intensity and responsibility above all else. And with reports from earlier this summer suggesting Rangers would be open to offers around £20 million for Raskin, the Belgian midfielder could be among those whose future hangs in the balance. There's interest from abroad, and if the right bid comes in, the club might not hesitate. This is the tone now at Ibrox. No passengers, no excuses. Every position is up for grabs, and every game is a test. Whether you're a new signing, a club captain, or a young prospect trying to break through the message, is the same prove yourself or make way. As Rangers prepare for one of their most pivotal weeks in recent seasons, the atmosphere at Ibrox is thick with both anticipation and tension. The club is balancing multiple high-stakes fronts: transfer negotiations, Champions League qualification, and internal squad reshaping, all while trying to establish a new identity under Russell Martin. Every decision from here on out could ripple across the entire campaign, and with the spotlight brighter than ever, there's little room for error. Russell Martin's vision for Rangers is slowly coming into focus, and it's clear he's not interested in doing things the old way. His philosophy is rooted in intensity, tactical discipline, and fearless football. But just as crucial is the culture he's trying to instill, one that demands accountability from top to bottom. The tone was set the moment he publicly called out his players after the disappointing draw against Motherwell. While some managers might hide behind vague answers or talk about needing more time, Martin was brutally honest. His team had been outfought, and that simply would not be tolerated at a club like Rangers. That honesty has consequences. It sends shockwaves through the dressing room, forcing players to either raise their game or face being sidelined. And we're already seeing signs of that process taking shape. Squad rotation is no longer a convenience, it's a necessity. Martin has already made bold choices in his starting 11s, and the message is loud and clear: reputations will not protect anyone. James Tavernier, a long-standing figure at the club, found himself on the bench in a Champions League tie. Nicolay, Raskin, one of the more high-profile midfielders, looked completely off the pace and may soon face pressure from both fans and the board if his performances don't improve. But this isn't about punishment. Martin understands modern football demands flexibility and depth, and his approach is built on trust and clarity. He's not dropping players. He's rotating for freshness, intensity, and the tactical edge needed in a packed fixture schedule. He told the players as much, reinforcing that this season will require contributions from every corner of the squad. Those who accept that and embrace the challenge will thrive. Those who don't, they'll simply be left behind. And that brings us back to the transfer market. While the media headlines will naturally focus on arrivals and departures for Rangers, this window is about more than just plugging gaps. It's about strategic evolution. Every name linked, every rumor that gains traction points to a deliberate attempt to reshape not just the lineup, but the identity of the team. The club is chasing players who fit a specific mold, technically gifted, tactically intelligent, physically committed, and most importantly, hungry. Kasum Ouattara, the Monaco fullback, is a prime example. At just 20 years old, he offers speed, energy, and the kind of aggressive overlap play the Martin system demands. He's not a marquee signing in terms of name recognition, but he represents a modern Rangers, one that values potential and performance over profile. And with Ridvan Yilmaz on the verge of returning to Turkey, the timing could not be more appropriate. Yilmaz has always been a player of flashes, glimpses of elite talent, moments of brilliance in the final third, but too often missing the consistency required to be a long-term starter. Whether due to injury setbacks, tactical misfits, or sheer competition, he never quite established himself in Glasgow. Now, as Besiktas push to bring him home, Rangers find themselves with a decision that's as emotional as it is strategic. Yilmaz was a significant investment, and moving on from a player so young always brings debate, but in the cold calculus of football, his exit could open the door for a more fitting option in Martin's project. And it's not just at left back, where changes are looming. The midfield is also under close scrutiny. Nicholas Raskin's dip in form, combined with lingering speculation around his long-term future, suggests that movement in this area could be next. Raskin is still young, highly regarded across Europe, and still a player with immense upside. But if the performances don't match the valuation, and if offers begin to arrive in the region of £20 million, as reported earlier this summer, Rangers may choose to cash in and reinvest. The modern game is ruthless in that way. And Martin is not here to build around names. He's here to build around purpose. What's interesting is how this mindset is beginning to take hold across the entire organization. Recruitment, development, match preparation. It's all being filtered through the lens of long-term growth rather than short-term fixes. That's reflected in the types of players brought in this summer. Look beyond the headlines and you'll see a clear pattern. Young, athletic, tactically flexible individuals with something to prove. Gassama has already shown his potential with 4 Champions League goals. Amman stepped into a European fixture on his debut and looked like he'd been at the club for years. Emmanuel Fernandez and Thalo Asgard bring raw energy and versatility. Joe Rothwell and Lyle Cameron offer a mix of experience and playmaking, while the lone trio, Mikey Moore, Nasser Giga, and Max Aarons, give the squad depth without long-term financial strain. This is not a scattergun approach. It's a methodical, data-driven rebuild designed to balance immediate competitiveness with future value. It's also a system that rewards adaptability. Players are expected to be multifunctional, to shift, rose mid-game to understand multiple tactical shapes, and to deliver intensity on both sides of the ball. That's the game Martin wants to play, and only those who can meet those demands will be trusted consistently. And for fans, that can be both exciting and nerve-wracking. The connection between supporters and their club is built on more than results. It's built on identity, on belief, on trust. There will be bumps in the road. There will be games where the plan doesn't come together, where youth and inexperience are exposed, or where early chemistry fails to spark. But what Rangers are building is something with depth and direction, something that, if given time, could redefine what the club represents on the pitch. But none of that will matter if results don't follow. That's the brutal truth. The match against Victoria Pleasant is huge, not just in terms of qualification, but as a test of everything Martin is trying to implement. The first leg gave reasons for optimism. A 3-0 win, strong individual performances, and tactical cohesion. But Europe is unforgiving. One bad night and the narrative flips. That's why every choice now, from who starts at left back to whether Raskin stays or goes to how the team rotates in the league, must be rooted in clarity and conviction. And that leads to the final pressing question. Can this new-look Rangers sustain a title challenge while building for the future? Celtic have already sensed blood taking advantage of the early draw to Motherwell and seizing the upper hand in the Premiership. Every drop point matters. Every fixture is a referendum. That pressure isn't going away. If anything, it's increasing. But for Rangers, that might be exactly what they need. A squad under scrutiny. A manager unafraid to disrupt. A club hungry to reassert itself, not just in Scotland, but in Europe. This is not just a transfer window. It's not just a manager's debut season. This is a reset. Tactical, cultural, and emotional. The next steps taken at Ibrox will define the season and perhaps even the next chapter of Rangers' modern era. The pieces are moving. The plan is in motion. And whether it all comes together or not, one thing is certain under Russell Martin, this is a club no longer afraid of change. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. The buzzing atmosphere surrounding Ibrox has reached new heights this week as whispers continue to grow louder about a surprise signing that could shake up the Scottish Premiership. Reports emerged late Monday evening that an unidentified player had landed at Glasgow Airport, and speculation exploded across social media within hours. The Rangers faithful, known for their passionate support and tireless online sleuthing, quickly began connecting dots, and all signs pointed toward one. Name Burgess. While the club has yet to make any official announcement, the very possibility of a player of Burgess's profile arriving has set tongues wagging across the city. Fans gathered at the airport in surprising numbers, some waving flags and others recording every moment on their phones, hoping to catch a glimpse of what might be a new chapter in Rangers' storied history. Eyewitnesses claim that security had to step in as the crowd surged with excitement, suggesting that something significant is indeed unfolding behind the scenes. Though nothing is confirmed, it's safe to say that this mysterious arrival has added a new layer of anticipation and intrigue to the Gers preseason narrative. As with all transfer season speculation, only time will tell. But the excitement is undeniably real. Many supporters are already envisioning how Burgess could fit into Philippe Clement's tactical setup, even without any official confirmation. From the club, online forums, pub conversations, and local radio call-ins have been dominated by talk of his potential role in the squad. Could he be the missing piece in Rangers' quest to reclaim domestic dominance and mount a serious European campaign? Some believe his playing style would mesh perfectly with the current squad, offering the kind of physical presence and technical ability that has perhaps been lacking in recent years. Others are more cautious, warning that expectations should be tempered until more concrete information emerges. What is undeniable, however, is the emotional energy this rumor has injected into the fan base. Veteran supporters compare the buzz to the arrivals of past legends, recalling similar chaotic scenes when marquee players touched down in Glasgow. Whether Burgess is destined to join those ranks remains a tantalizing mystery, but the mere suggestion has rekindled the dreams of silverware and glory. Even local journalists, usually skeptical of such unverified reports, have begun circling the story, indicating there might be more substance to this than originally believed. If it is just noise, it's some of the loudest we've heard in years. Interestingly, Burgess himself has remained silent on social media, further fueling speculation and curiosity. Some fans claim to have seen cryptic posts from his entourage, Instagram stories quickly deleted, vague tweets, and tagged locations hinting at Glasgow, but nothing concrete has been verified. This silence, intentional or not, has created a vacuum that supporters and pundits are eager to fill with theories, predictions, and excitement. Rumors suggest that he was seen leaving the airport in a blacked-out vehicle, escorted by club officials, though no official club staff have confirmed this sighting. The lack of denial from Rangers has only intensified the noise, prompting some to suggest that a formal unveiling could be imminent. Yet others argue that the club might be using this media storm as a distraction from other transfer negotiations. Amid all the chaos, it's clear that Burgess, whether he's truly destined for Ibrox or not, has captured the imagination of Rangers' global following. He has become a symbol of possibility in a summer window that many feared would be uneventful. Whether he's a centre-back, midfielder, or even a forward remains uncertain, but the hope he inspires is palpable. Meanwhile, rival fans and pundits across Scotland are watching the situation closely, some dismissing it as a classic case of Rangers. Fans getting carried away, while others admit privately that such a signing could shift the balance of power. There are already mock-ups of Burgess in the famous blue jersey circulating online, sparking debates about shirt numbers, position preferences, and what his arrival might mean for existing squad members. Discussions have even begun about how his addition might affect the team dynamics, with some fans concerned that it could disrupt current chemistry, while others believe it could raise the standard for everyone involved. The rumor has also caught the attention of bookmakers, with odds shifting dramatically on Burgess being announced as a Rangers player by the end of the week. For now, all anyone can do is wait, speculate, and enjoy the thrill of the unknown. In a sport where surprise moves are increasingly rare, the mystery surrounding Burgess has reminded many why they fell in love with football in the first place. The drama, the anticipation, and the sheer unpredictability. This, whatever it becomes, has already become part of Rangers folklore. As the days pass with no official statement, the anticipation only grows. Fans are refreshing their news feeds every hour, tuned into every press conference, and dissecting every facial expression of club officials for hidden meanings. Ibrox is buzzing in a way it hasn't in months, perhaps even years, as supporters cling to the hope that the mystery man at the airport truly was Burgess, and that his arrival marks a new era for the club. The buzz has even spread beyond football. Circles, with local newspapers, radio shows, and even evening news segments picking up the story. Children are asking their parents who Burgess is, while older fans are comparing this moment to legendary signings from decades past. In the absence of confirmation, the rumor itself has become the story. A story of hope, community, and the powerful bond between a football club and its supporters. Whether he signs or not, Burgess has already left a mark on the summer. The Rangers family, united in speculation, are once again dreaming big. And in football, sometimes the dream is just as thrilling as the reality. Greetings, fans! Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated. By Rangers FC, and don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.